the Dork Podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the Dork Podcast and Davey. It's the Dork Podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag Dork Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by both Davey Eyeballs and Chris Scheim. Dem Thrones boys unite as we celebrate episode 4 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Davey, how are you, sir?
I'm all right. I always freak out when we do this wide thing because my room is a mess right now.
Oh, don't worry about that, Ryan.
I'm just always worried about it, you know?
It looks great. You have a lot of nice items.
Yeah.
You should be happy about that. Scheim, how are you?
I'm fabulous. I'm ready to talk about some good old Thrones world, having some fun, having a good old time.
Yeah.
This show is a fucking blast, and I thought so even prior to this week, and this was the best of the bunch by far.
One of the highest rated on IMDb now, too.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. And we kept up with the silly humor jokes, which I personally love.
It's good.
You know what's funny? We get pee-pee, we got caca, and now we got farts.
Oh, it's the best.
Awesome. It's lighthearted.
This show's awesome.
We still need a cum joke, though.
Yeah, cum shot's coming. It's coming. You might save that for the
Yep.
finale. Just a big old busted cum shot. So
It makes sense. It's generally the finale.
We're doing all spoilers. Well done, Scheim. We're doing all spoilers as we've been doing. It's if you haven't for some reason watched this show, it's 4 episodes. They're all like a half hour, so you can rip this in time. There's only 2 more episodes for this season. We've talked about how some of the plans, what they want to do, is basically like 30 years worth of television. Which, God bless them if they can pull that off. I hope they can. Not gonna hold my breath. In the meantime, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. So this episode was titled 7, and we're going to talk about the trial of 7 in a minute. But basically it starts with the events of episode 3 and the hot water that Dunk finds himself in. And he has a pretty good conversation with Egg in prison. Because we talked about this last week. Like,
Yeah.
The audience may have already known the reveal for Egg, but Dunk didn't. And then so we sort of see it through his eyes, and then fascinated to see how they were going to pay that off and what that conversation was going to be like. And I thought it was pretty good. Just more good character development between these two guys that are easy to root for.
And you could tell he was struggling because he wanted to be super pissed off, but at the same time, Egg is a kid, and he's like, I know he wasn't trying to be malicious, but he still lied to me, and the grappling with that is what's tough for Dunk.
I don't think you can get mad at anybody. Like this poor guy, I want to see him fight because they keep saying, well, I'm trained in this, and we haven't really seen him fight yet. We just know he's, well, kind of, but like we've seen him getting a little bit of a little bip and a bop, but nothing formal.
Yeah, he socked the dickhead
Arion
pretty good. And it needed like 3 or 4 guys to kind of hold him down. We also saw some of the flashback scenes. Like, he's clearly a better fighter than Sir Arlen of Pennytree, where like he's like trying to spar with him. He's just like mashing him. It's too big. The guy's enormous. We haven't seen him on a joust. I don't know how he would do in that, or how he will do in that. Because Scheim, what's the rules of the trial of 7? Rather than is that on horses, or is that just 7 dudes fighting 7 dudes?
So you start on horses, but like if your horse goes down, but you're still up, like it's still keep going, and you just have to fight for your life.
All right. So
But I love too that because horses are like vehicles and horses are like meant to be like expendable in jousts, that they keep making fun of him for talking to his horses.
It was so good. He's like, "Are you talking to your horses?"
What the fuck's
Yes.
wrong with you?
yeah, I definitely am.
But he's also just a lonely dude that needs people to talk to, and the only things he can talk to now that Egg's not there all the time are the horses.
Yeah. Dunk goes and talks to Baelor, right? Because that's part of the conversation. Egg's like, well, Baelor wants to see you, and then he's like, all right, I want to go see what you're doing. And he's like, Darren, who we saw in the very first episode and was the one that was drunk at the bar, and we're like, oh, he has like visions or whatever. He is accusing Dunk of kidnapping Egg. And so that's how this whole thing is going to get going. And then you're like, all right, it's probably shaping up to be trial by combat. Like, a lot of the previews for this series was like trial by combat. I'm like, all right, that's something I remember from Game of Thrones. Like, let's see it. Let's see what this is about. And then Arion goes with the fucking dirtbag move, which even was his dad and his uncle are like, what the fuck? They're like, you can't just fight this guy? And he's like, no, I can't.
His dad was pissed. He's like, you are such a pussy. Like, go out there and fight.
He was like legit mad. He's like, seriously? And then Dunk's like, what does this even mean? And so now you're like, rather than it being one-on-one, trial by combat to see who was right, who was wrong. And by the way, is Arion would get destroyed by Dunk? Is that your thought? Or do we not know?
Probably.
I think in a straight fight, you can't cheat, right? So that's why in a straight up fight, you can't.
You kind of, I guess it depends on your surroundings, but like it's tough because Arion's definitely better trained, but Dunk is just freaking massive. And I think that's kind of the one thing he definitely has going for him, which is probably why Arion's like, I really don't want to test this guy at all.
And we don't know him, right? So that's like the one thing that's scary about all fights is you don't know who you're fighting, right? So they can do so. It's funny that like Egg has done all his home. He knows who everybody is. He knows how they fight. He knows them up, down, sideways, but like nobody knows Dunk. So he's a bit of a wild card.
Wild card, just a hoss.
Yeah,
coming at you, big dude. So there's also a spot where Darren tells Dunk that he had a dream with him and a dragon. And he sort of leaves it kind of like that. I was like, all right.
Well, yeah, that the dragon was dead.
Right, dead dragon. Now,
and like he climbed out from underneath the dead dragon.
All right. So I don't want. I've already been spoiled enough on the show, and I'm sort of resigned to the fact, and I'm okay with it. But I'm not like I don't know what happens next week, and so right now in this time in Westeros, there are no dragons, and I feel like in Dunk's time there will be no dragons. So is he just referring to like a Targaryen, I assume?
That's you can generally interpret it that way, I would assume.
All right, so trial of 7. So basically it's like you got to find your buds, and Dunk has really no buds, and so he has to find a team. And then so it really pays off some of the previous 3 episodes, which again was all good stuff. But now that you see that it's pointing towards him having to get some guys on his side to go up with a battle against the Targaryens, it really is very exciting and trying to like figure out who's going to be on whose team, how this is going to go, who's going to agree to fight with Dunk versus the Targaryens. Because you're like, if you do this fight, it's kind of a lose-lose because either you fucking get killed or you stepped up to the Targaryens, which I can't imagine would go good for you.
Yeah, you can't kill with someone of the royal family and get away with it, right?
I don't think so.
Well, in a trial by 7, you can. It's 100% justified.
Well,
and I thought it was because it was interesting. They said like it's the gods. The gods are going to decide who's guilty and who's innocent. So you can't. It's not my fault.
Right? So yes and no, though. Like, don't you think like legally you could go there, kill a Targaryen, but then like when you go about your day, you don't think they're gonna fucking come after you at some point?
Oh yeah, probably, right? Yeah. Like if you think about like the Mountain versus the Viper, right? The Viper's family was all still pissed about it and wanted to go kill Lannisters in the Mountain, but you have to also accept the result of the combat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right, for sure. We probably should have saw this coming, but the Fossaways. So the first Fossaway is a real piece of shit. Stefan Fossaway is an asshole, and that's why it was kind of a little out of character when they're like sitting there at the table and he's saying like he agrees to like fight with them, and I'm like, there's no way you can trust this guy. But no, he was going to be one of his numbers, and then he switches, he bails sides. So you have that whole scene where they're like in the arena, and he's just like, well, I need like one more. And he's like, you're gonna need 2 more because I'm out. I'm jumping sides. And then his cousin's all fired up about it, and then he says, I'll fight for you. We have no idea what this guy can do or can't do, but a pretty cool scene where Raymond Fossaway is getting knighted by Baratheon. That was a pretty badass quick little scene.
And it's a cool thing he says too. It's like, but it is funny that the other Fossaway guys like, well, this is how our family name is going to live on. And we all know we don't know who these people are moving forward.
and also too, it's interesting to know the way in which Dunk hesitates to knight Raymond, because Dunk himself isn't even like a legit knight. He's never actually been knighted, so he has no idea how to do it. He would have just like put his sword and said, "You're now a knight."
Yeah. The Baratheon's like, I got it, dude. Like,
he's like, I got it. You gotta deal with that.
I'll take it from here. So they're trying to figure out the teams. He has a pretty good plea where he's just like, oh, like are none of you knights? And he's like yelling at everybody. He's getting the guys all fired up because he's down a man. He's shorthanded, and he's screaming at guys. Dude stands up, I forget his name, Scheim, who it looks like he might join him, and then that's when the guy just fucking fires off a fart, and you're like, all right, you guys not on my team. Not on my team.
Well, he's the poor people sitting next to him and like around him too. Like he just like loud enough for the whole stadium can hear it.
Terrible.
Right?
Yeah.
His kid loved it though. Like his kid was thrilled by it.
Yes, it was Bracken. Was it? Yeah. It's Bracken. The
oh yeah, he had like a name. It popped up. It was like Bracken the Brave or something like that. And it was like all right. So Arian's team. So team Targaryen, I guess in this sense, is Arian, Maker, Darren, and then Stefan Fossaway, and then 3 other dudes that were in like the Kingsguard, right?
Correct. Yeah, the 3 Kingsguard guys. Yep. All
right, so that's the 7. Sir Duncan the Tall, meanwhile, has Lionel Baratheon. He has Robin Riesling with one eye. Yeah, Robin Riesling, the guy that
guy's awesome.
Smoked in the joust and had an eyeball sticking out of his head.
It's the Brute of Bracken, by the way.
Oh, good one. Thank you. The Brute of Bracken. He also has Raymond Fossaway. He also has a dude, 2 Sir Humphreys. One is Beesbury and one is Harding. And then you're like, all right, we're down a man. All of a sudden, the fucking Game of Thrones intro song hits for the first time in this series. We haven't heard it all. They don't do like a normal opening. And then the gates open, and here comes Baelor Targaryen on his horse, riding in. One of the top Game of Thrones moments, maybe ever.
And like the first time, like for real, we've seen like open combat among a house.
Oh, yeah, this
not
is
like infighting or like bullshitting, but like actually like sanctioned.
Yeah, this is wild to me because it's like what is so I don't know. So I guess careful Scheim with this because I don't know the answers to this. But so like Baelor Targaryen, even from the jump, is the first guy that sort of acknowledged Dunk and was like, "Oh, I know Arlen Pennytree," and everybody else was very dismissive of Dunk and like didn't care. Like, why are we in this little shithole? And he was nice to him then, and he's obviously being more than nice now, like sort of sticking up for him because I think he's well aware that Dunk didn't steal Egg. Egg's telling him that that's not the case, but he like chooses to go against his family. Like, is this like just like a really good dude, or is there like some other ulterior motive with him?
No, I think it's kind of to show you that not all Targaryens are kind of like selfish pricks. Okay. Like Maekar and his kid, and then his other drunk ass kid, and that there are actually some like good and just people in this family somewhere. And the guy is like actually inspired by Dunk. He's like, you know what? Dunk's right. Like that's what knights are supposed to do. They're supposed to fight for the innocent. And he's like, I believe in that. And as the, crown prince wants to kind of stand on that platform and really kind of use that to his advantage.
Is the trial of 7 rules that the losing team like all dies? Like all 7 guys die?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't know I don't know the full rules just because it's something that doesn't happen. Like this is the one instance that it really happens ever. And like they even said, they're like, this is something that hasn't happened in like 150 years. Mm-hmm. Like I just have to be a part of this. And it's something that nobody wants to do because they'd rather just do trial by combat. So you don't have to rely on a bunch of other idiots around you or gather 7 friends. It's just you go about your business and do your thing. But because of course Arian's a coward, he wanted to try and get himself an out.
Yeah, seriously. Because like trial by combat, you can also pick your fighter. So it's not just like, hey, somebody did me wrong and now I have to go fight somebody that I'm going to lose to. It's like, I'm going to pick my best guy. And so this guy's like the workaround. Like, I'm still involved, but it's like the 7. So I'm sure the next episode, which is called In the Name of the Mother, I'm sure there'll be some sort of full rules laid out.
Yeah.
But I was still surprised. And I know we've seen, we're watching House Targaryen. And so we know, or House of the Dragon. And so we know that Targaryens throughout history have like gone at each other. But it's sort of different when it's like from completely different sides.
Witnesses.
Or they're like fighting over like the throne, or they're fighting.
Well, they don't even seem like they hate each other either, right? It's just like Baelor wants to be the right and just one, and the Maekar's just supporting his kid.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm going to step into this, and that's why there's no way it's like until the whole team is dead. Now maybe it's like 1 or 2 deaths. I don't know what the rules are.
Or they like the guy who they give up.
Yeah, you throw the
Or
towel in.
they yield and they say like we're done.
So
like,
my guess is because they say right there at the beginning before Baylor comes out, like, hey, you don't have 7, you automatically lose by the the gods have said you lose. So I wonder if it's just one death that it's like, all right, cool, one guy died, now it's over, you lose.
Or is it like the one who brought the charges has to die? Like the other 6 don't have to, but as long as that guy dies, we're done.
Yeah, it could be.
Because again, I mean, I think of like. It's not fair, like, because I don't mean not fair, but like the other 6 guys, like they're probably doing this out of obligation. They have no dog in this fight. They were just asked to do this, so they're doing it because they're honorable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once that's over with, then what am I doing it for?
Yeah, Baratheon doesn't even give a shit that it's honorable. He's just like, nobody ever does this. I want to be a part of it because I want the glory.
Which exactly would have been. I say this now, but that would have been my answer too.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, because this is cool. Like no one's ever done this before.
Yeah, why?
I ain't done it in 100 years.
Yeah, I think that's sort of what you got because like the team Targaryen, if you will, is 3 Targaryens. It's Kingsguard guys, and then it's Fossaway, who they like gave him a title or like land, or they gave him something. Whereas the other guys all look at it, they're like, here's a chance to go after these dickheads. Like, we hate these guys. We can't do it in another place. So like, I'll take a shot. I was curious. I thought Dondarrion would be on this team because he was like really smoozy with Baratheon. So I thought maybe they would have recruited him, but he's like, I'm not in on that.
Now, did I miss it, or was who's the drunk?
Drunk
Targaryen?
Darren.
Oh, Darren.
So
the
Darren,
brother.
He's told Dunk he's gonna throw it.
Yeah. He's like, just knock me in the head so you can knock me out, and then I just won't participate.
Yeah,
but I don't want to die.
He's not a fighter, I don't think.
Yeah. No, he's a drinker and as he told you, like he sees visions and stuff.
He also knows he lied. Like the whole reason this is going on is because he lied.
Yep.
And did he lie, Scheim, just because he was supposed to be watching Egg?
Yeah, him and Egg were supposed. So Egg was supposed to be his squire. Thank you.
Yeah.
At the tourney, but like Darren's like, I don't want to compete in this tourney. I just want to drink and be drunk. And so he just kind of abandoned Egg and cut off his hair, which is why Egg is bald. He's like, now nobody knows you're a Targaryen, and I'm gonna go get drunk. You go do whatever the hell you want. And so he can't tell his father that he just like left his brother to fend for himself. So he just makes up the story that Dunk took him.
You know what's crazy is I'm doing all this like deep dives on like Wikipedia and whatever they call it, whatever the Game of Thrones version of Wikipedia is, and
a wiki of Fire and Ice.
Yes,
yeah,
Wiki Fire Ice. Which I'm telling you, as somebody that doesn't like spoilers but is also curious like a cat, and that's why my friends call me Whiskers. The problem is now, if you do too much of a Targaryen family tree like research, you're now fucking up House of the Dragon spoilers. And like, the show spoilers, because like you go back too many generations and you're like, oh, you're like, that person was on the throne. You're like, oh shit. It's confusing because
that
they all
guy,
that guy. What the? They all have like similar names, and there's obviously like even Egg is like the 5th Aegon, so it is legitimately difficult to like remember everything. Scheim, in the books, do they even have like family trees, or is it all just sort of like spoken and like written about?
No, it's all just like spoken and written about. It's not they have, I think at one point, like at the very beginning of the book, in some books, like there's like a map of the area. That's like the only thing you get illustrated wise. Other than that, it's all just spoken.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like that's one of the things, like, and I read the first book and it just kind of like it spirals. Like you just like are in one scene and then it starts talking about this family and this, like I told you, there's one of the scenes is like they were drinking like this ale, and there was like this brief history of like where this ale came from.
Nice.
And, like I didn't need to know all this shit. Like just
I've never seen someone be able to write like 10 pages about one meal.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah, so maybe I'm better off sticking to the Wiki of Fire and Ice.
You would get lost in the details.
Well, and the books aren't even finished. It's so dumb.
Yeah, that's wild to me. So he basically wrote what we saw on the show and then stopped and then went back and started writing these
retconning
novellas?
The show.
Yeah, so like I guess he wrote the original 5 novels, then like went back and wrote these novellas, and then went back and also wrote like a song of, or like a story of Fire and Ice, and like some other prequel, Fire and Blood, which is like House of the Dragon shit, and just still hasn't finished the actual mainline book series.
Mm. We also found out this episode that Dunk's potential girlfriend has fled Ashford, and he does get his shield and his armor, but was it Steely Pate was like, she gone. So maybe we'll see her later, but she's out of there. Obviously there's trouble there going on. Do you guys have a favorite character through 4 episodes of this show?
I think for me, Lionel Baratheon is my MVP right now. That guy's awesome.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Scheim?
I love Egg. Like, I think Egg is great. I think he's a great foil to Dunk. They did such a good job. Like, with the casting of this kid, child actors most times suck. This kid is awesome. He does such a good job.
Yeah, that's what's so great about the show is like I like Dunk and Egg quite a bit, and we spend most of our time with those guys. And like the kid actor's great. They have awesome chemistry. Like the two of them together is really, really good. I also like the Baratheon call. That's a good one. I mean, Baelor Targaryen is a good, maybe too good to be true type of character too. I like him. Trying to think who else. Yeah, Robin Riesling. We mentioned the one-eyed guy. He's good. I'd like to see some more Dondarrion. And maybe we will going forward.
What if he lights his sword on fire? Like as the whole thing starts, you're gonna lose your mind.
I would lose my mind. Like, is it too much to ask? Will the whole next episode be the trial of 7?
As we've seen, so you said there's 2 episodes left. Always the penultimate episode of any Game of Thrones is always the best one.
It's true. I think the entire episode has to just be the trial of 7.
Oh man. I hope so. And yeah, I wonder too, Scheim, if they're gonna make another season of this, would they in your mind just continue like with these current ages, or like is there a time jump like House of the Dragon?
So there's like slight time jump, but it's not a lot. Like Dunk is supposed to be like 19 right now, so like this guy could play Dunk for a while, I think. And Egg is generally a kid for the majority of the novellas. So especially season 2, like you don't need to worry about recasting anybody, that's for sure.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because that was one of the things with House of the Dragon. I know some people didn't like it. It did need to move the story along, but it was also kind of jarring when you like just got used to these certain like actresses and actors, and then they changed them on us. It's early. It's only 4 episodes in, but like this is better than House of the Dragon, and I liked House of the Dragon. I'm not even one to shit on House of the Dragon. I thought there were some like kind of episodes in season 2, but this is like super. It's different. But it's super enjoyable. I like the world. And as much as there is like literal dick and fart jokes in it, there's some pretty big stakes. And now that we know who Egg is, it's like going to continue to be pretty big stakes, even though we're not like in King's Landing. We're not like on the throne, but there's a ton of other shit going on. And like way better than I thought this was going to be, because I had no idea really going in what it was going to be.
Doesn't it feel like it's just more aerodynamic too? Like it's all like just so street, and like we get to the point very quickly. Like we don't waste fucking time doing side quests or side stories. It's just one story, these characters, that's it.
It's kind of nice that it's 6 episodes that way, Davey. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. And on top of it, I just think it's just way more rewatchable than something like House of Dragon. Like you can just bring somebody in to watch this series and people will love it.
Yeah, right. Because you don't need to know all that other stuff. All the other stuff helps, and it's cool backstory. And like, obviously, there'll be more of a gasp once you find out who Egg is. But even if you're going completely clean on this, you'd be like, oh, his family's like in charge, and like he was acting, it wasn't like it still works.
Yeah, like if you're watching with someone who's never seen any Game of Thrones, all you have to tell them is, the Targaryens rule. Like they're in charge of everything, and then that's it. And you could just kind of go through there.
And it's pretty easy too visually because they look different than everybody else for the most part.
Yeah, and in a world where there's like 30 like Aegons and Viserys and Daenerys and Darian, and like even though they're nicknames, Dunk and Egg, boom, like you can wrap your head around that.
Yeah,
it's
not hard.
It's like I think why people knew. Also because of the actor, but like Ned Stark, it was easy to know like Ned Stark, Robb Stark, Jon Snow, because those are super fucking easy. And then you got into all these other names, and you're like, all right, you're kind of losing me a little bit with some of the names. But this
who the hell is Roland Crakehall?
I don't know.
That's a real name. He's one of the King's Guard. Yeah.
I can't help you there. But it'd be like if you took the season like 1 of Game of Thrones, but you only followed around like Robb Stark and Jon Snow, and like you didn't do anything else, right? You just were like locked in on like two characters and like obviously who they come across. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting spin on it, and I wonder how many people are even watching this. Like we've gotten a good amount of feedback on it, and like people are definitely enjoying it. But I wonder if like not only the finale, the last season of Game of Thrones soured a lot of people, right? When we talked about this with House of the Dragon, I don't think as many people were in on that. And then because it's up and down with House of the Dragon, I'm curious what kind of like viewership this is getting, and like if it's, is even like scratching the surface from like when Game of Thrones was at its best. And
it's just so far removed from when the whole world was at its peak, right? And I think that's kind of the big thing.
Yeah.
It is higher. It's rated higher than critically than all of Game of Thrones and all of House of the Dragon right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because Game
not
of
by
Thrones,
not by much, but
Game of Thrones too. You're probably like adding up the whole thing. Whereas
yes, it is.
You just take the 3 best seasons of it.
Well, like the best episode of Game of Thrones is probably better than something like this. But
yeah. Like Battle of the Bastards is better than anything we've seen in this show or House of the Dragon thus far.
Oh, what was the other one?
Red Wedding.
Blackwater.
Oh, the Blackwater Bay. Battle for Blackwater Bay. And Mountain vs. the Viper. Still the most shocking thing ever on television. It's so good.
Well, that and Sir Arlen Pennytree. Also fairly shocking.
Fair point.
Gasps.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there were some unbelievable moments, and I think it's gonna be hard to touch like at its peak, like Game of Thrones. And it obviously it doesn't have that, Monday morning everybody's talking about it and like freaking out about spoilers. It doesn't have that, but it's also a different time.
And it's awesome too. I'm looking at the cast and everything. So Dexter Saul Ansel, the kid who plays Egg, blonde.
Oh,
so that'll work.
How do you like that? If need be, he can look like a real Targaryen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it. I mean, I really like the show. I've been pretty pleasantly surprised. So, all right. So, Davey, you don't know. You didn't look up what happens, right?
No, not. No, I found out. I mean, I know what happens in terms of like Egg. Like I know what happened. I did that by accident.
No, I know. It's the same, dude. Same. We talked
one time you weren't here. I was like, I don't know if you heard it. I was like, all I Googled was like, does Egg become a knight?
Yeah.
Because Dunk said like the first couple episodes, he's like, oh, you'd make a good knight. And I was like, oh, does he actually become a knight? And I was like, fuck.
As soon as you open that page, as soon as you click that hyperlink, you're toast.
Who's Egg? Like, damn it.
I did the thing where I was just like, only because we were doing the podcast, I was like, well, let me just like double check some of these like names and like, who's in the series. And the first thing that pops up on there is like Aegon the 5th Targaryen. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Well, now you don't even have to click the link. That's right. AI Grok or whatever just pulls it up for your AI assistant.
It's like Aegon the 5th Targaryen, and you're like, got it.
Shit.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
But I do love the other shit that's like all the tie-ins to Game of Thrones. And we talked about this last week, Scheim, but like actually, let's do quick spoilers here. So if anybody doesn't want to do any kind of like connections to the book or other kind of like tie-ins, like bail now. We'll talk to you next week. It's not crazy spoilery, but it's like some of the stuff. So like when Joffrey Davey was talking about like these great knights, he's like giving Jamie a hard time, and he's like, oh, Sir Duncan the Tall, like he has 4 pages. And so it's like we know Dunk becomes somebody legitimately good, and they gave that away in the first season of Game of Thrones. I was also reading this, Scheim, about Egg and like who he becomes and all the things that he did, including like he was the one. Did he knight Barristan Selmy when he was like 16 years old or something like that?
Sounds right. Yeah.
There's
I'm pretty sure he also like created Wildfire. Like what we know in Game of Thrones was, I'm pretty sure, like an invention of Egg because he was obsessed with dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a whole bunch of stuff and like connections, and obviously we know who his brother is. We saw him in Game of Thrones at the
now
Night's Watch.
Since we're family treeing, right? And we're inching closer to the Mad King, right?
So the Mad King is
like Egg's grandson.
Grandson.
Son of Egg?
No, grandson.
That's his grandson. Is he?
No, because isn't Daenerys his?
His grandson. Is he? No, because Daenerys is his grandson. Is he? No, because 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 his grandson. Is he?
No, because isn't Daenerys his granddaughter.
Great granddaughter. There's a dude
I'm
in
missing a
between.
Jen.
There's I forget the guy's name, but there's a
dude.
dude.
Jaharis, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was known as. Again, this is all spoilers, so everybody should bail if you don't want to hear any of this. He's Aegon the Unlikely. He became the 15th Targaryen king. Blah blah blah. But there was like a whole list, and I should have wrote this down. I saw it on because I'm also on this like algorithm now on like Twitter where I get all this fucking Game of Thrones shit that pops up. But it said like all these things that he did. So obviously his like relationship to Daenerys and the Mad King. But he had a Barristan Selmy connection, and then there was like another really cool one. And you're like, God damn it, this show or this book really just so well done.
Yeah, and I told you last week how Duncan is like directly connected to Jon Snow even existing.
Yes. Yeah. Fucking insane. And and George R.R. Martin even said, right, he's Brianna Tarth is like a descendant somehow of Duncan.
Like it might have even been in the show, but in the books, like it mentioned she like once was going through like her father's armory and found Dunk's shield.
Crazy. Awesome. Just awesome. So I'm sure we'll discuss this more as this show rolls on. But yeah, let us know at Dork Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or you can email us dorkpodcast@gmail.com. What do you think of the show? What do you think of this most recent episode? Definitely the standout episode of the season thus far, but we have 2 more to go, so they could even top this bad boy.
Hey, what's your favorite episode of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
This one.
The next one.
Tom Brady. Well done. Oh, he's quoting Tom Brady now. How about that?
I don't know. Yeah, I have a dog in the fight here. I hope the next episode's the best.
Yes. I actually am rooting for this show to succeed. Scheim, good stuff. Davey, any final thoughts on Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
No, you should be watching it. I mean, Fallout's done. There's nothing really. Shrinking just started, but like this is what you should be watching. If you're listening to us, you should be watching this.
Yep. Scheim?
No, watch it, please do.
All right, very good. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can jump over to the other link. And speaking of Fallout, we'll recap season 2 of Fallout, the Amazon Prime series based off the video game. In the meantime, Scheim and Davey, stay curious.
The hashtag Dork Podcast.